I've often said, if you want a good funeral, don't invite Jesus. He ruins funerals. Every funeral that Jesus went to in the New Testament, he raised the dead. And here's one story in Luke chapter 7. It begins in verse 11. And Jesus is going to a funeral where a widow has lost her only son. It's in the village called Nain. And as he's walking into the city, she's walking out of the city with the mourners. And he touches the coffin and opens it up and touches the boy. And the boy raises from the dead. Such supernatural power. Wouldn't that be great to see happen today in our churches and our ministries, that God has that resurrection power and life for us. Verse 16 goes on, and great fear swept the crowd, and they praised God, saying, a mighty prophet has risen among us, and God has visited his people today. And the news of Jesus spread throughout Judea and the surrounding countryside. Three things there I would like to see restored to the church and to our ministry today. Number one is when we preach the gospel, we're not the prophet like Jesus is, but an underling prophet, so to speak, speaking the prophetic word of the New Testament gospel, that we would see people say, this is like Jesus is among us. The gospel is among us. The prophetic word is among us. The second thing here says is that God has visited his people today, that it's not just good teaching, it's not just good songs, but God's presence was here. Lives were transformed because he was there. And the third thing is that the news of Jesus spread across the countryside. When these things are happening, when there's miracles taking place, when the gospel is being preached with power, when the presence of the Holy Spirit is real, you can't help but the gospel to spread across the nation. And that is our only hope today for America.